Hey, blessed love and blessed night, fighting world, fighting nation. It's Coach Fire, real life boxing. We're gonna talk about Erislandy Lara versus Brian Castano. Before we do that, y'all make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. It's real life boxing. So let's get into this fight. Brian Castano versus Erislandy Lara for Brian Castano's WBA. I believe it was the regular WBA 154-pound title. They fought to a draw. It's a pretty good fight. Pretty entertaining fight. I had it a draw. I covered the fight live. Soon as the bell rang in the end of the 12th round, I was like, call it a draw. It's a draw. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like neither guy did enough to outdo the other person. Let's start with I can't even start with either one. I'm just gonna break it down. Now, Lara started off in the first round boxing really well. 1-2, 1-2, stepping over to the side, 1-2, and then he would throw his 1-2 and he would hold. You know what I mean? Soon as Castano would try to get in close to him, he would just grab him. Referee separates him. Lara comes back, bing, bing, 1-2 again, grabs him. Lara's feeling good. He's feeling himself. Second round now. Second round comes through. Lara's doing the same thing. Wow. Popping his jab, 1-2, stepping over, holding a little bit. Castano's trying to fight him off from holding. He's trying to fight Lara off from holding. So, Lara's doing his thing. In the third round now, Castano makes an amazing adjustment, okay? Lara thought he was going to have a pretty easy night, being able to bust his little 1-2 and do his little pretty side step, 1-2, his little pretty shuffle step, 1-2, his little pretty shuffle step, and hold Castano whenever he wanted to. Now, Castano had different plans, okay? In the third round, while Lara wanted to hold, Castano started punching. Breaking his hands free, just punching. He wasn't letting Lara grab him, wasn't letting Lara hold him, and he just started roughing up Lara. This was pretty much the story for the remainder of the fight. Lara's busting his 1-2, trying to step over, and Castano's just, putting an amazing amount of pressure on Lara. Lara's catching him with some good punches. Castano's just pressuring him, hitting Lara with some good body punches. He wasn't really catching him with clean headshots, but he was throwing a lot of punches and catching him with some good, solid body punches. Lara continues his 1-2, stepping over to the side. Now, I already told you guys that Brian Castano made an amazing adjustment in the third round when he started to punch while Lara wanted to hold. You know what I mean? Because Lara thought he was going to have an easy night after those first two rounds, being able to pop his little 1-2 and then hold, and the referee just break him up. And Castano said, no, buddy, we're going to fight. You know what I mean? So Lara's trying to hold, and Castano's just, throwing, roughing Lara up, while Lara's trying to hold. So I thought that was a very good adjustment that Castano made. Now, Lara, on the other hand, made no adjustments. No adjustments throughout the course of the fight. He's just throwing his 1-2, stepping over to the side. Castano had his guard up high, and he was just coming right in. He wasn't using a jab or anything. He's just, trying to come right forward on some Maidana shit. You know what I mean? Just throwing punches from all type of angles, just, coming in. And I felt like if Lara would have made some adjustments instead of just throwing his 1-2, because Castano was catching a lot of those. Instead of just throwing his 1-2, you know, bringing the 2 up from the bottom and throwing it as an uppercut, because Castano's just coming right in with his head down. You know, he's just trying to bombard Lara. But Lara made, you know, no adjustments through the course of the fight. And like I said, this was just the story of the fight. Now, I do think that Lara landed the cleaner punches throughout the course of the fight. You know what I mean? But Castano was going to the body a lot, and he was just putting an amazing, you know, amount of pressure. Now, this fight is kind of similar to Tony Harrison and Jamel Charlo. You know what I mean? This fight was really similar to that fight, except for Lara, you know, did more than Tony Harrison did in that fight, and yeah, and they called it a draw. But this was pretty much, you know, the same kind of scenario, except for I think Lara did a better job. He did a little bit more, you know what I mean, than Tony Harrison. Now, why I say neither man did enough to outdo the other man. So, you know, Lara, I believe that Brian Castano he threw more punches by about 30. The total punch stat, I believe he had about 30 punches more than Lara, something like that. Now, if Lara would have thrown 30 punches more, he probably would have won the fight. You know what I mean? The issue that I have with Lara is a master boxer, but he almost seems like he doesn't want to fight. So if you guys remember some of my earlier videos where I talked about perception and mannerism, all right? Perception and mannerism. I spoke about perception and mannerism. Perception is the manner in which something is being perceived, and mannerism is the manner in which the act is being done. Now, Lara always looks like he's fighting to survive. He always looks like he's fighting in desperation mode. Now, the judges look at stuff like this, all right? He never looks like he's fighting to win, all right? Not against Ishe Smith. You know, now listen, a lot of people say, oh, Lara beat Canelo, you know, oh, but if Lara would actually look like he was fighting to win a fight instead of always looking like he's fighting out of desperation and fighting to survive, maybe he would get some calls sometime. You know what I mean? Body language is very important when you're in the ring. And in this fight, you know, with Brian Castano, you know, Lara, after the 4th, 5th round, once Castano made those adjustments and started roughing up Lara looked like he's fighting, you know what I mean, like to survive. He's fighting out of desperation, and he never really changes his facial expression, so you really can't tell, like, you know what I mean, like what he's thinking, or you know what I mean. Like this other kid, he came out, you know, he was smiling, but he had the mean look on his face. You can tell he was excited for the you know, for the opportunity to be fighting a fighter of Lara's caliber. But Lara never looks like he never changes the expression on his face. He just always looks like he's in desperation mode instead of in hunting mode. You know what I mean? Instead of being the hunter, he's always looks like he's the hunted. So I feel like this has a big you know, on a big impact on how the judges look at the fight. You know what I mean? So like I said with this fight, if Lara would have thrown as many punches as Castano thrown, he probably would have won the fight, because he was landing the cleaner punches throughout the course of the fight. It's just that, you know, Castano was putting a lot of pressure on him, had Lara playing defense a lot of the times, and Castano was landing his body punches. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, I don't think either one of them did enough to actually outdo the other one. You know what I mean? Both of them did enough for it to be a good, entertaining fight, and you know, for it to come out to be a draw. But man, if I was Ronnie Shields, Lara's trainer, I'd be so frustrated, because it's like, if Lara would just, you know, show a little bit of aggression, you know what I mean, he would get he would have beat Brian Castano. Same thing in the Hurd fight, you know what I mean. He's playing defense too much, covering up and just taking shots, and he's not giving it back. You know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, he'll stand up to you. I'm not scared of you, but I'm not gonna initiate the action. I'm not gonna initiate the beef. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on Erislandy Lara versus Brian Castano. It was a good fight, fought to a draw. You know what I mean? I just wish you know, Lara would have done, you know, a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if it's his age catching up to him, but you know, he says it's not his age. He says he can still go for 34 years old. So but shout out to the American Dream, Erislandy Lara. Shout out to Brian Castano for a good fight. You guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, tell me what you guys think. Shout out to everybody who was in the live feed for the fight, because it was entertaining, you know what I mean. So shout out to everyone who joined me for the live feed. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comments. This is Real Life Boxing. Hit the like button and subscribe, man. Peace and one love. We out of here. Protect yourself at all times too.